A lot has transpired in my life in the last 3 months. Life is life. I'm here because it is Gemini season. My birthday was on June 6th. Today's June 9th. Today's June 9th, so my birthday was a couple days ago on Friday. I turned 27. I just wanted to make this episode coming back into the podcast, basically talking about 27 things I've learned at the age 27, because I am now 27. I'll probably go a little over 27 things. With a lot of the things that have transpired in my life over the past 2 to 3 months, I've been by myself a lot, and I've had a lot of time to sit and think. I've received so many downloads from the universe, like literally so many downloads from the universe. Like, I feel like the past 3 years of my life, I haven't been listening to the universe, and the universe has been transmitting me information, and it's been getting stuck in the matrix of transmission. And now that I'm finally like allowing abundance to flow and allowing the universe to speak to me directly, like, I've been getting a shit ton of downloads. It's insane. It's actually insane. I feel like I've grown 3 years in the last 2 to 3 months mentally, with my wisdom, and just my outlook on life is completely different. I feel like a completely different person than I was 2 months ago. It's crazy. I'll look at pictures of myself 2-3 months ago, and I'm like, that girl is no longer here. She has shed completely. Well, maybe not completely, because we're in the process of shedding. Saturn Return in Aries has also commenced towards the end of May. So anyone born through the years, I think it's 98 and 99, we're going through it right now. The 98, 99 babies, well, really the whole world, but like especially us, pertaining to our growth, our evolution into our adulthood and self-identity, we are really taking the hit. And then also Venus is now moving into Taurus for the next month. Shout out to my Taurus Venus placement, second house baddies. We are getting a lot of grace for the next month, and I'm so fucking thankful, because I feel like I've been put in a blender for the past 2 months. So I'm like, thanks Gemini season for coming through. Thank you Taurus Venus, the home base sign for this planet. Thank you for blessing us with some kind of beauty in the midst of it all. And now that I think about it in retrospect, even though a lot of the things in my life have been uprooted and literally the rug ripped from underneath my fucking butt, I've had this crazy sense of optimism. And I don't know if that's because of the person that I am or because of this Venusian energy coming through, but I just feel a sense of optimism. Even though I have my sad moments, my down moments, the highs feel good, and it gives me hope that everything's going to work out. So without further ado, because I am on a time crunch, because the park closes literally in like an hour, I am going to get into this podcast. Well, okay, I guess it's like 26 things I've learned at 26. I don't really get it, because I haven't spent my full year as a 27-year-old. So I would say maybe this is 26 things. Yeah, 26 things I've learned at 26. That makes way more sense. So this is 26 things I've learned at 26. 26 has been a year of deep undoing, guys. I've been in a state of reducing and minimizing my light for the past year, even to the point where when I say things, people have me repeat what I'm saying a couple times because I'm speaking so quietly, which is so against my nature. I'm usually very loud like this, not explosive, but my personality shines, and it's really, really big, and it's really, really, really welcoming and warm. And I feel like the past year I've been like this, and it's like, why? I don't want to be like this. I want to be like this. Like, that's who I am at my natural state, right? So this past year has been a big year of undoing and becoming at the same time, because now that I'm at the end of the 26 year, I'm in my 27, I'm like, I'm becoming, and I understand what that means. Like, becoming is like, my life is starting again. Saturn Return in Aries, it's starting again. The veil from what I knew about myself, the veil about what I knew about the universe has been lifted, and now I'm becoming into a brand new woman and a brand new version of myself that's actually returning to the original person I was when I first became on this planet, right? The authenticity, the genuine, it's restoring, and I feel it. I want to start this reflection with the lessons that shape my identity the most. I feel like that is the whole thing about when you're learning every year, everything in your life is a lesson, right? Everything is a lesson to guide you towards your rhythm of alignment and your rhythm of purpose. And I've struggled with who I am and understanding what my purpose is and the kind of person I am all my life, really. But I feel like as an adult, especially in the industry I work in and kind of these new circumstances I'm being dealt with as an adult, moving into my adulthood, it's really challenged my identity and my challenged my perception of self-worth and how much I care about myself through whatever challenge I'm faced with, right? Because that's essentially what you're being taught to learn is like, are you going to love yourself through all the challenges, right? 27 is the year of letting go. June and Gemini season in general is the season of letting go. It's really calling to turn into your inner child, and you know, like a little kid, they just do something goes and they move on to the next thing and they just go they let go. They live in a state of abundance, they live in a state of purity, you know. And I think this season that I'm in is teaching me to let go, because I'm a Scorpio moon, right? That's fixed water, that's fixed energy. When things hurt me emotionally, when things challenge my perception of life, my perception of self, and I have a negative reaction to it, I tend to cling on to that fixed energy. I'm unmoving. You can't change my perception of what is, right? And I'm learning that to a certain extent that's great, because you should never let anything choose to change. You should never choose to let anything change who you are, what you believe in. But when it's a matter of growth and evolution, you should always stop before you put your judgment, before you put your ego on it. You should always stop to listen to the lesson and listen to what something is trying to teach you before you resort to your fixed kind of unmoving energy. Because as we all know with life, we're always meant to evolve and shift. So the moment you stop and you move against the current of evolution, everything in your life is going to freeze, and everything in your life, you might even start to lose things because the universe is not trusting you with the ability to handle it. That's what I've learned, is like the art of letting go, and being in that state of letting go is actually more beneficial to you than you think. It's really painful. It could be very confusing, but once you take that breath of fresh air and let it go, you're on your way, and it's almost like things immediately fall into place. And I'm learning to let go with a lot of things right now. It's very, very hard. It's very, 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 very hard emotionally, but I'm learning that it has to happen, you know? Nothing's gonna stop just because you want it to stop. You can't control anything. You have to trust, and that all comes with trusting yourself, trusting the universe, and trusting the process of becoming, right? To begin into this first little section, personal growth and identity. These are themes of transformation, themes of letting go, agency in this world, and evolution. Number one, you are not your mistakes, okay? You are not your mistakes. No matter how much you want to put the blame on yourself for things that didn't go right in your life, unless you did something really fucked up, okay, let's like be real. Unless you did something really fucked up and it is your fault, okay, take the blame for that and fix the problem. But not everything in your life is your job to fix, and it is not your job to claim that as your identity as like a broken person or something. You are not your mistakes, okay? Your mistakes are there to teach you something, for you to grow and move on. So don't cling to it, and don't make yourself feel bad. Don't make yourself feel ashamed. Don't cling to the feeling of being ashamed. That's something that I have done my whole life, because I've always, since I was a child, put so much pressure on myself to do things the right way and do things correctly. And maybe that's childhood trauma. Maybe that was the way I was raised, and I just had a traumatic way of processing it. But you are not your mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes. You should make mistakes. That's how you learn, and that's how you grow, and that's how you fall into step. That's how you figure out your purpose. That's how you figure out what's right for you, right? You make mistakes, you go through life, and it is what it is. Moving on, you are becoming. So I kind of already spoke about this. You are becoming. So ever since the day you were born on this planet, you have been becoming. When you were a child, your personality was so genuine, raw, and pure before the world stuck its claws into it and tried to tell you different about who you are. And it, you know, you were faced with challenges that stopped you from becoming. But no matter what, you are always becoming. You are always evolving. And if you are in a state of distracting yourself from evolution, if you are in a state of hiding from yourself, hiding from the negative, hiding from things that destroy you, that you feel are destroying you, that you feel you're not ready to face, just know that you are stopping your ability to become. You're actually hindering your human experience, because we are meant to experience everything, all emotions, everything in life. You're supposed to just go through it. You're not supposed to resist. You're not supposed to go against the current. You're supposed to flow and fall into the rhythm. And some of these things, as you're becoming, do stop you from falling into step. But it's not meant to keep you to dwell on it. It's not meant to keep you to fester on it and be ashamed of yourself and be ashamed of the things that you've done. Like I said, you are not your mistakes. Let yourself flow and let yourself get through it, and don't fall for the distractions of life. The whole process, it's just putting it to waste, right? So let yourself become, let yourself feel and heal. That's the only way you get through stuff, is if you let yourself feel it and heal through it and continue. I think as an adult too, it gets harder to let go. It gets harder to not distract yourself, because we have so many vices like drugs and alcohol. It becomes like, oh, why do I need to keep evolving? Why do I need to keep becoming? This is who I am. I'm content with this. But deep down inside, when you're quiet and when you're home alone and you start to feel, it's almost like you're jaded, right? And you have this like glaze over your eyes, for some of us, and you use other people as a distraction, you use vices as a distraction, but it only makes your life harder, and you don't see it until things start hitting the fan and karma comes into play and the universe forces it out of you, right? So I would say never stop becoming, and do not fight the flow of evolution. Don't fight the current. It's hard and it's painful, but don't fight it. Moving on. Life is only going to get harder. See, I already wrote this. Life is only going to get harder if you refuse to let go of control and refuse to learn from your lessons. It is. Like I said, the past 3 years of my life has been, oh boy, it's been a lot. I thought I knew everything about the situations I was in. I thought I knew everything. And this past 2 months has been like, bitch, you might have known some things, but you didn't know everything, and it's okay. And this is what you've learned from that, right? So let go of all assumptions, let go of all control, and don't refuse to learn, because it's just going to get harder. It's just going to get harder. And you might as well fucking run face first into the shit, bro. Life is not supposed to be easy. That's the other thing. It's like, people think life is supposed to be easy. Sure, things should be easy with certain people in your life. You shouldn't always have to fight. You shouldn't always have to force to be understood, right? But life is always going to have challenges, and it's not always going to be easy. And once you find your rhythm and find your flow, it does become easier in a sense, but then you become accustomed to the way life works. You become accustomed to the language of life, right? It's like learning a language, like learning math. You start learning the flow, and then you're like, okay, when the challenges come up, they might affect you strongly, but then you already know that it's part of your character development. It's part of your growth, and you just let it flow and you let it go. Any person I've known that's 50 plus years older than me that is living that kind of has that perspective on life, their life is so beautiful. Their life is so textured. It's so rich. Not rich money. It's like their life is full, it's abundant, and it's flowing, and they have this such divine glow about them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they get it. Versus like you see a lot of people who are clearly stuck in their shit, and any little thing just sets them off, right? Any little thing, they have this like gray energy, and when you leave their presence, you just feel, I'm digressing, but just don't fight the current is what I'm trying to say. Number 4, this is a big one for all my 27-year-olds, all my 25 to 27-year-olds. Stop being a baby. Stop being immature. You are almost in your 30s. Not that age matters, but it's time to grow up, and that's okay. Mourn your old self and accept it and keep going. Growth is necessary, but take it seriously, okay? whether that's in a relationship, in a friendship, in your careers, with your family. Stop reacting to things so immaturely. And I'm saying this to myself because boy, have I been an immature little brat for the past year. I would say strongly for the past year. I have been an immature little brat when things don't go my way. And anyone who knows me knows when things don't go my way, I don't like that shit. I'm a Gemini, okay? When things don't go our way, we don't fucking like that shit. But I'm also learning that that's not how life works. Okay, you're not supposed to. And granted, I am an only child, so maybe I do have only child syndrome to a certain extent, so it kind of makes it a little bit worse. But stop being a fucking baby. Not everything is supposed to go your way. That's not how life works. It's not fair to the balance of life, and it doesn't make life fun. Because if things are always going your way, what the fuck are you even doing? Like, what is the purpose? What are you learning? Where are the lessons? Where's the experience? Right? When you're getting into an argument with your partner, things aren't going your way, or just something dumb happens and you're failing to communicate your emotions, like, don't cry about it, don't pout about it, don't be a little bitch about it. Just own it and let it go. Stop being immature. Communicate. Use your mouth. You have vocal cords for a reason. You have a brain that attaches to your brain. You have a brain that attaches to your brain. You have a brain that attaches to your vocal cords and a nervous system for a reason to communicate how you are feeling with your words. And if you cannot communicate with your words, go do some yoga, go do some hot yoga, go on a run, go on a walk, go get your journal, write it down, get it out of your system before you act immaturely and act in a way that is actually not even conducive to how you're even feeling. Because you can be screaming and crying and blowing up about something that didn't go your way, and that really has nothing to do with how you actually feel about something. And I can give you an example. So say, for example, you are getting into an argument with your partner about what you guys want to eat. What you guys want to go get dinner. And I'm gonna come at you from a woman's perspective, because this is the only experience I know, right? You and your partner are having differences about what you guys want to go to dinner for. One wants to get Thai food, the other wants to go get a burger. And you're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Like, last time we got burgers like twice in a row. Like, I want to get Thai food. Like, and then you're like, ugh, this guy doesn't even understand me. He doesn't even know how I feel. He should know that I want Thai food. He should know this about me. He should know this, right? Because he's my partner, right? And he should know everything about me. No. Just because they're your partner doesn't mean they can read your fucking mind. So stop being a little baby and just be like, hey, the last couple times we've gotten burgers and I just really want some Thai food, and maybe I get my Thai food and get your burger and we compromise and call it a day. Or maybe we just, I just would really appreciate if you would just treat us to some Thai food, because I love you, you love me, and I'm happy to make you a burger this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be that deep. It doesn't have to be that. That was probably a terrible example because I don't want to air myself out. I don't want to air my life out right now, but you know what I mean? Like, just communicate how you feel. And it's hard. It's easier said than done, because coming from a person who has literally cried about every little thing when it comes to a disagreement, it's hard to pull yourself out of the fire. But one thing that I've learned is, like, please, I'm begging you, stop yourself and pull yourself out of the fire. Just stop before you react with anger, because anger is not even a complex emotion. It's actually a buffer for what you're really feeling. Like I'm saying, before you act out of anger, just stop to think about what that moment is trying to tell you before you react immaturely. I know sometimes it's hard because our emotions, especially as a Scorpio moon, our emotions just get the best of us, and we just want to be understood, we want to be heard, and we want to be felt, right? We want to know that the other person across from us is feeling our pain, because we don't want to go through it alone, and we just want to feel understood. But it is not everyone's responsibility. It's not other people's responsibility to figure your shit out for you. It is no one's responsibility to figure out your emotions for you. That is your responsibility, and that is something that you can only control in this life. You can only control yourself. You cannot control how someone reacts to you. You cannot control what happens. The universe has a plan. You cannot control control the universe. You cannot control God. So learn how to step into your mature self, step out, shed that immaturity, and just accept that you can only control this. And you affect other people by the things that you say and what comes out of your mouth. So stop being a baby. Next thing, you don't have to have it, okay? This probably is more about material things. Coming from someone who doesn't know how to control her money, which I'm learning with Saturn Return. You don't have to have it. We're going to leave it at that. You don't have to have it. Focus on what you really want in life. Like me, I'm a creative director and I really want to do that for the rest of my life. If I'm trying to go do some shoots, but I see a pair of shoes that I really want, I don't need those fucking shoes. I need to spend money on this fucking studio space I need to rent. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to have it. Spend your money on things that are actually going to bring you up in life pertaining to your purpose. You don't have to have it. Moving on. Everything is truly working out for you. Now, this is so ironic because I feel like everything is not working out for me right now because of the things that I'm going through. But we're gonna be delusional. Everything is working out. Everything is fine. Everything is working out for you. Whether you see it or not, and I know it deep down inside, I know everything is working out for me. I just want things to be the way I want it to, guys. I just want things to be the fairy tale that I fucking imagined in my life. But it is. The thing is that it is. My future self is like, it is. It's just not the version of it that you thought it was. Everything is truly working out for you, and you need to stop complaining that it's not. Because the more that you complain that it's not, the more you dwell on the negative, it's not going to be that. And you're prolonging the universe from giving you your blessings. You're blocking your blessings. So believe that everything is working out for you, because when things don't work out or when things shift, more often than not, at least for women, because women are more inclined to evolve. We're more open to the rhythm of the changes of life because we have the ability to create. So evolution is just inherently part of our nature, right? So everything is working out for us. Everything is working out for women. No, but like everything is working out for you, and you just have to fall into the shift and believe that it's there, because it is. You might not see it, but it's there. Movies are fake. Number 7, movies are fake. And the internet is filled with think pieces, romanticized to a certain extent, because life in reality is real for real. So what I mean by that, not everything in life is a movie. Okay? This is what I mean by that. It's so easy for us to fall in love with the potential of something, whether that's potential of your career, potential of a relationship, potential of whatever the fuck, right? In the reality of things, potential is not even a real thing in the current present moment, right? Potential is something that can be achieved if the work is being done to get there. You cannot convince yourself that the potential is the reality, because you will then learn the hard way. Things will start working against you because you are looking at the world through rose-colored glasses, and you are not being able to receive the lessons that life is gifting you with, whether that's a hard lesson or a fair lesson, neutral lesson, less hard lesson. So stop thinking that things are a fairy tale. Romanticize to a certain extent. You should romanticize your life in its reality, right? I'm romanticizing the fact that I'm sitting here recording this podcast. I don't have nobody to worry about but myself right now. And that's actually really fucking great. You know what I'm saying? That's less responsibility for me, and that's more headspace for me to focus on the things that I want to pour my love and abundance into, right? So I'm romanticizing this current phase of my life. This current phase of abundance, this current phase of reclaiming my peace, this current phase of restoring my self-worth and my self-value, knowing that I love so abundantly and I want to give that to everyone in my life. But I am in a season of, yes, the potential is great with everything, all the little chapters and little pockets of your life. The potential is great. The potential I see in every aspect of my life is great. But I have to focus on the reality, and I have to focus on honing that energy in and connecting to my divine rhythm. Because the more you pour, like all these trees, you're watering everyone else's tree. And then you look at your tree, and your tree is like withering and bending over because you're not even tending to your own garden. Because you're believing all this stuff that's not even real right now. Work towards your potential, but don't fall into the fantasy that's not reality. Tend to your garden of reality. I'm gonna leave it at that. We're moving on to the next section. Love, friendship, and relationships. Once I started to shift things internally these past 2 months and really, really look inward, I've been journaling like I'm writing a fucking Nobel Prize fucking New York Times best-selling book, bro. I've been journaling like crazy. Once I started shifting internally, I noticed everything around me changed. My perception of relationships changed. What does it mean to be in an adult relationship? What does it mean? And I mean friendship wise, platonically. What does that mean? What is your responsibility as a friend? What does it mean to be a good friend now that you're an adult? What does it mean to be a good partner? How much of yourself are you giving to a partnership? How much of yourself are you sacrificing? And I'm going to get into that a little bit more, because you shouldn't be sacrificing for anyone. You shouldn't be sacrificing any part of yourself for anything in your life if that comes to your expense. I'm going to leave you with that. These next lessons are about love, boundaries, friendship, and that sacred soul deep self-love that takes you years to build. And it takes you years to build if you are not stopping to tend to your garden. You know what I mean? It takes you longer to build if you're not stopping to tend to your garden. So appreciate the years, appreciate every year you have on this planet, and really take it seriously, like I was saying earlier. You know, themes of connection, sacredness, boundaries, and authenticity. The right people will find you at the right time. Throughout my young adulthood, I've struggled with friendships, female friendships, any kind of friendship, and I've grown out of friendships. And I was always like, when am I going to find my people? That comes with finding yourself first. Maybe you haven't fully found yourself, you know, and don't think you have to find yourself first to find the right people in your life. But you definitely need to fall into your alignment and fall into your rhythm by doing your hobbies, going to work out, doing things that fulfill you, doing things that make you happy. That's how you attract the right people. And I've always lived by this: your vibe attracts your tribe. So make sure you have the right vibe and make sure you're putting the right energy out into the world, because if you're not, the universe is going to bring you some hard lessons, and they're going to come through people that probably don't have the best intentions for you. So make sure that your vibe is attracting the right tribe, and the right people will find you at the right time. Don't believe and accept outside opinions about anything in your life. It really does only matter what you think. Granted, yes, like my grandmother that I based this podcast after, she is literally the oracle in the matrix in my life. Anything she's ever said about my life, a challenge I've asked her about, she literally tells me exactly how it's going to go down, and it usually does. But that is not the same as coming to someone with a problem and they're telling you, oh, that is a shitty person, and that's just gonna fuck up everything. You know what I'm saying? They're coming at you with some negativity about, you know, because they're projecting from their own experiences, and they're trying to get you to assimilate to a feeling they've had, because they want you to feel this negative thing that they felt because of the situation is triggering to them or relates to something that they felt, right? So don't let anyone tell you who you are, how to think, and what to believe, because it only matters what you think. And that is such a, like, I feel like that's such a, like, broken record, but it's so true. I recently had a crazy meeting with my bosses at work, and they just sat there and tried to tell me who I am, what I'm capable of, and the skill set I had, and just the kind of creative person I am, and tried to bring me down. And I'm so glad I was raised with the idea of, like, only you never let anyone tell you who you are, only you know who you are, right? And I just sat there and I was like, the men in this industry have such entitlement. I mean, men have entitlement in general, but I was like, girl, you're tripping. You're really about to tell me who I am? And imagine if I actually accepted that truth that they were trying to convince me of. Not truth, it was a fucking lie. But that truth, imagine if I were to accept that truth. I wouldn't be sitting here today filming this podcast, and I wouldn't have such a newfound optimism of my life and my self-worth, because you know what that told me is that I am all those things. And I do intimidate people because I have such a sense of self and a sense of knowing what the fuck I'm doing, and a confidence in my ability to do things, and that scares people that don't know themselves. So I'm challenging you to believe in your self-worth and believe in your ability to just exist as you, and don't let anyone try to tell you otherwise. Moving on. Stop telling people the details of your business. They don't need to know everything. Okay. I'm learning that this is a very complex one. Of course, you need community. You need community and you need to talk about things. If you're not communicating about how you feel with your close community, with people that you trust, it can be harder to get out of your head. It can be harder to learn a new perspective that helps you heal through it, right? This is not the same as letting anyone tell you how to think. It is just a matter of opening yourself up to human connection. So don't fall victim to spilling your guts out to people that don't have the best intentions for you. Vet people out, observe people, pick up on their nuances, their body language, the way they talk about other people. If you're around people that always talk about other people, they're probably talking about you. That's a true thing. So don't trust that person to spill your guts out to. Don't do it. You should have your best friend, and if you're close with a parent, and a parent. If you have a community that you trust to vent to, because you know they understand you and you know they're going through similar things that you're going through, I think that's okay. That's okay. And you should feel safe around your friends and your circle. And it's okay to talk about things with people that know you, not with people that you're getting to know, not with your coworkers, not with a stranger that is sitting on the, well, sometimes having deep conversation with strangers is actually kind of therapeutic. Like, think of like Forrest Gump. But like, stop, just point blank period, guys. You know that. Just stop telling everyone about your business. That comes with maturity. Stop being immature. Stop crying about your business to people that don't need to know your business. And pick up on the red flags and form the boundary and move on. Family matters. Never lose sight of them, and always, always, always call. Do not take advantage. This is something I'm learning. Your family is there for a reason, and some people might not have blood. Family, take family with a grain of salt, because family is a different definition for everyone. But for who you call your family, do not take them for granted. Do not take them for granted for 1 minute. They are your family, and they're there, and you need to call them, and you need to cherish that they're there. You need to cherish their experience. You need to cherish your human connection to your family. Call your grandmother, call your mom, call your sister, call your best friend that you call your sister, call your cousin. Call the people that show up for you. Pour your love into the people that show up for you and that have been showing up for you for years. You know what I'm saying? Don't fucking neglect those people. And I'm coming at you real aggressive because I'm also telling this to myself. But don't take advantage of that. Don't take advantage of that. Family matters, okay? Girlhood is sacred. Have faith. This all goes into, as a woman, the right people will find you. But girlhood is so sacred, and I'm learning this recently. I've been spending so much time with my newfound girl group, and I'm learning that it's such a sacred thing to have a group of wholesome women around you. Like I said, I've had terrible situations with girlfriend groups and girls that I thought that were my friends and that I could rely on, and I've been backstabbed and betrayed so many times because I don't know how else but to do this. I just naturally trust people because that is my nature as a Gemini. I just love community. I love people. I love seeing the best in people, and sometimes that is to a fault, right? But when it comes to girlhood, you really have to cherish that shit, and you really have to make sure you're pouring into the right women in your life. It is a sacred thing. Being a woman is already sacred, so make sure you're bonding and syncing up with the right women. And as a woman, you know exactly what I'm saying. Fall madly in love with yourself and never stop, no matter what. I literally want to stand up and literally stop. Don't ever fall out of love with yourself. I don't care if a nigga has swept you off your fucking feet and you think this is the man of your dreams. You're gonna get married, you're gonna have a baby, then you're gonna blah, 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 fall into the sunset. Don't lose yourself. Do not lose yourself. Please do not lose yourself in that process. Please do not lose yourself in that process. Please do not lose yourself in that process. Coming from someone who has lost themselves in the many processes of relationships, stop doing that shit, bro. I know you love hard. I know the way your love language as a woman, we inherently want to literally morph into our loved ones. We almost want to become one with them, that we start pouring all of our special woman juice of divine femininity and divine goddessness into our partner that we start letting them siphon our energy, and then we are left with a fucking, what is it called? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Like the branches that are burned to the stake. You're left with like a burnt steak version of yourself, and then you're like, what the fuck? Because you knew you didn't even need to do that even when you first were starting to get into it. You know what I'm saying? So don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself for nobody when it comes to love. Fall madly in love with yourself and never stop. Almost like don't even fall in love. No, I'm kidding. But like, fall madly in love with yourself and never stop, no matter what. If that was the advice I could give to myself at a younger age 3 years ago, if I could give that advice to myself, I would be like, girl, you could say no. You can say no, and you can say I need more time, and you can say I am doing me. Even together, you're doing you. Even when you're in a partnership, you're still doing you, and that's the whole thing. You don't have to force them to watch Love Island with you. You can have that for yourself, right? Focus on your self-love and never change your self-love, self-care routine. If you want to take a bath and light a joint and go watch Love Island and cook yourself a dinner, you don't have to always do everything with your partner. You don't have to share that special thing for yourself with your partner. I know us as women, we want to do that. We want to do everything with our partner. But you don't have to do that. You need to save some stuff for yourself. Because once you're out of the situation and then you're going into your routine of self-care, you can't even get into your routine of self-care because you're so used to having that person be in the routine with you. That goes for men and women. So don't ever stop being in love with yourself. Be kind. You can't go back and change things, and you can never take things back. So be the best that you can, and remember to be kind. Be kind. Okay? Be kind. Being nice and being kind are two different things, guys, and you know the difference. So be kind. Be authentically kind. You can't go back and change things, and you can never take things back. Watch what you say. Watch your actions. Watch how you affect other people, because once it's out into the world, once you said what you said, once you've done what you've done, the scar is there forever. And yes, you can forgive, but you can never forget. And that hinders your ability to trust the process. It hinders your ability to trust in people, whether that's friendships, whether that's relationships, whether that's family, whether that's career. You need to have your boundaries, and you need to learn how much of yourself you're giving as well. But just remember to be kind, because the universe is always going to return it back to you, no matter what. Yeah, choose your words wisely. Number 15, choose your words wisely. You can never take your words back. So coming as someone, like I said, Scorpio moon, I can be very harsh. The people that know me know I can be very mean sometimes, and I'm learning not to do that. I'm actually in the softest version of myself I've ever been, and I'm loving it, because full transparency, that hard shell that I've been in the past with the choice of words I've said or the things that I've said that affected other people negatively, it was all a means of protecting myself, because I was being immature, and I wasn't communicating how I really felt. And I've learned time and time again how that affects other people, and it takes time to rebuild that trust and that bond and that ability to get back to where you were before things were said, right? Before things were done. So remember to be kind, and remember to choose your words wisely, and be also to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Choose the words that you're saying to yourself wisely, because you're going to believe, and your body's going to fall into that rhythm, and you're going to believe those things that you're saying to yourself. And it's going to reflect badly on your life. A lot of 30-year-old people I'm seeing on the internet are posting things that they've learned and advice they're giving to the younger generations, and they're like, don't believe the voice in your head. The voice in your head is a fucking liar. So get into the habit of choosing your words wisely, whether that's the words you're saying to other people or the words that you're saying to yourself. And that is also a part of building the relationship with yourself, right? All these things, whether you're taking these as things that apply to external you, these are also things that apply to inner you. The right people will find you at the right time. The right energy that you are putting into yourself and your life is the indicator to what attracts in your life. So make sure all of these things internally are being processed, are being addressed. Don't hide from it. It's hard and it's painful. Nobody likes to face their demons. It's fucking painful. but you have to do it. All right, moving into our next section. Thank you for being here if you're still here also. Our next section is in creativity, work, and purpose. Of course, growth doesn't stop with who we love or how we heal. It doesn't stop there because you were born with gifts, right? You were born with gifts and a purpose, right? It's not about who you love. It's not about how you heal. What is your purpose? What are you doing with your gift? If you're a singer, if you're an actor, if you're a director, if you rap, if you write, if you do podcasts and you're not fucking putting it out into the world, if you're not putting it out into the world, what are you doing? You're sitting and you're sulking, you're being miserable. That's what you're doing. Of course, growth doesn't stop with who we love or how we heal. It extends into how we show up in our purpose. So this next section is about work, creativity, and remembering I don't have to abandon myself to succeed. Like, what the fuck? Why are you abandoning yourself in these relationships? Why are you abandoning yourself in these careers that are no longer serving you? Stop pigeonholing yourself into these situations or into these relationships that are no longer serving you. If it's not fucking working, take the time away. Leave it. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Point blank period. I'm healing myself by saying this right now. God damn, I needed to hear myself say that out loud. Wow. Themes of career, clarity, self-worth, and ambition. So number 16. Oh, I love this one. Take more time off. I am currently offered 2 weeks. I'm taking my 2 weeks off and I'm fucking living my fucking life because I've been pouring my soul into this fucking job for the past 3 years. Okay. So I'm gonna do what I need to do. Take more time off and use that sick leave. Use that PTO. Just do it. I literally wrote it just like that. Take more time off. Use that sick leave, that PTO. Just do it. We don't have to digress. Just do it, bro. Your life is your fucking religion. Your life is your religion. So stop thinking that your fucking career is your whole fucking purpose and you can't go outside and take a fucking walk. Stop thinking that you can't get up for 5 minutes from your desk. I don't care if they're breathing down your neck to get this deck done, my nigga. Go fucking take a walk, because at the end of the day, if it's stress that's affecting your health, if it's you didn't even eat lunch, nigga, stop giving your fucking all to these fucking people who don't even know anything but how to make $1, which is great for them, but you are not a fucking robot. You are a fucking human being. Take the time off, go take a walk, go touch some grass. And stop fucking thinking that you need to be someone's, like, it's literally like slavery, these jobs that we're in, especially the entertainment industry. It literally is like slavery. The way they fucking milk us young people for our creative ideas, for our energy, it is not okay. So go take your walks, 3, 5, 10 walks a day, bro. You're still going to get your work done. And if anything, that's going to make you feel even more motivated to get the work done and take your PTO. Take your PTO. Go. And even if you're not even taking a trip, you don't have to take a trip to take your PTO. Take your PTO and just enjoy your fucking rent, bro. You know? Moving on. You don't have to stay at a job that fucking... I literally already said this. You don't have to stay at a job that fucking sucks and keep convincing yourself that maybe it'll get better. Never pigeonhole yourself and keep your options open. Even if you found your dream job, like for example, dude that just left Doc Martens, what was his name? Darren McCoy. He was at Doc Martens for 10 years. He just left this year in 2025. He was the global category manager, creative director. He started as global category manager and then he eventually became the creative director of Doc Martens. Dream job. He just left Doc Martens after 10 years. He could have kept going, honestly. What he was doing with Doc Martens was brilliant. All the collabs and stuff. He just went to go to Carhartt, I believe. He didn't pigeonhole himself, right? He probably outgrew the brand. Maybe he wasn't getting paid enough. I don't know. Who knows? But he was open to and I don't know his life, but I'm just using this as an example, even if this is not even true for his life, right? He was open to the abundance of evolution, even though creative director is like the highest you can go with creative jobs like that, right? As an art director, the highest level we can go is creative director, ultimately, with this career path. So it's like, never pigeonhole yourself. And if your job fucking sucks and if it's destroying your life, Find a new one. Move on, bro. Stop pigeonholing yourself. All right, 18. Never, ever, ever give up on plan A. My dad has taught me this since I was a child. Sure, it's great to have your plan B and C, but never give up on plan A, because if that's what you want in your life, you need to go balls to the wall for it. So many people allow other people's opinions to get into their head. Like, for example, I want to be a creative and I want to go to college for a creative degree, but my dad, my family, a lot of immigrant families, for example, they want their children to be nurses. You can't fucking go get an art degree. You can't go get an art degree. You have to get a lawyer's degree. You have to go become a lawyer, a doctor, a nurse. And then next thing you know, they're dropping out of college and they have to start from, from ground zero, when they could have just been fulfilling their purpose from ground zero to begin with, right? So don't give up on your plan A. As someone who has been a quitter for a large majority of her life, I have been a quitter for a large majority of my life, and with the Saturn return, I'm learning that life is saying you can't do that anymore, because if you keep doing that, I'm not going to help you anymore, right? That's what I'm learning. Don't give up on your plan A. I want to be a creative director in multi-facets of the creative world and the creative space, and I'm not fucking giving up on that. And I'm learning that I have to do the cringy art first before I can even get to the aesthetic high level shit that I see myself doing, right? I cringe at the work I put out every time, and it makes me want to give up on my plan A, but you can't do that, because the fuck, you guys already know. I'm digressing, but you guys already know.
Corny? Did I say corny?
Yeah, why'd you call it corny?
Because corny is good. Because corny is like...
Why is that corny? Don't say words like that when you talking about what you working on. I really didn't like that. Because then now we looking at what you saying through the lens of corn now, which has a negative... Like, don't do that. Like, if you fired... It's campy is a better word for, but like, stand on your stuff.
There we go. Don't give up on your plan A. Even if it looks gross, nothing looks beautiful at the beginning when it comes to that kind of purpose. You know what I'm saying? Your purpose is not always going to look beautiful. And that is not to say you need to give up. It is to say you need to keep going until you start to let it unravel for what it is, for the beauty that it is. And don't convince yourself that it looks ugly either. Don't convince yourself that the plan, even though the plan might be messy, don't convince yourself that it's ugly, because it is beautiful. Even it's beautiful even in the mess. And I love that. I've been saying that lately. Like, even though my life feels chaotic and achieving this plan A is chaotic and it's a little bit messy, like, it's beautiful. Like, I love this beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy, I love it. 19. The experience is worth the money. Never live in a mindset of scarcity. So as young people, we want to make money. We want to expand. We want to have these amazing experiences. And sometimes it's okay to just take the experience. And I know we are supposed to have a savings. I know we're supposed to hold on to our money to a certain extent and build a fucking Fortune 500 company and invest our money into our stocks and shit. But it's like, life is about experience. Enjoy your youth while you have it. Book the trip, bro. Spend the money. Get the guitar that you want. Get the fucking FLX4 Pioneer DJ. Something that I want. Do it for the experience, bro, but utilize it. Don't put it to waste. And don't, once you spend the money on it, don't be like, oh my God. Like, I put this YouTube vlog out and I was like, I just spent my rent money on the DJ Osmo Pocket 4. And I was like, so in a level of scarcity. Like, my mindset and my energy was like, like, girl, you bought the camera, use it. Stop being a bitch and just fucking use the camera. You don't have to cry about it. You don't have to make other people feel bad for you that you just use your rent money on something that's actually going to bring you abundance and fulfillment in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be ashamed of yourself. We were saying that earlier. I'm using myself as an example, guys. But you understand what I mean. The experience is worth the money. Never live in a mindset of scarcity, because ultimately that experience is bringing you closer to something that you're meant to do. Your purpose, your rhythm, your alignment, whatever. If you felt it intuitively, take the leap of faith and invest in that experience. So just to wrap this section up, We're talking about our creative fire, our refusal to settle, and our evolving sense of purpose. All the things that we learn. Take the time off. You don't have to settle in something that's making you feel like shit, whether that's a job, a friendship, a relationship, whatever. Never give up on plan A. Fucking light that fire again and again. Even if the fire goes out, light that shit again. Pick yourself up. Pick yourself out of that fucking hole and dive into the experience and stop making yourself feel ashamed or that life is scarce. Stop doing that. Also, since I've been turning back into myself, everyone that I've been running into from my past that I haven't seen in a while, or even new people on the street, they're like stopping me and they're like, you have this glow. You have this glow to you. With that, I'm going to light a love incense from House of Intuition. Love them. Always great people in there. They're like, you have this glow, and I'm so grateful for that compliment. But how I internalize it as a very spiritual person is it's my divinity. It's my divine energy. Give me 1 second. That light? Barely. There we go. Lighting that incense. I'm gonna stick it right here in the grass. Yeah, they've been saying you have this glow and this light to you, and I'm just like, wow. I've been dimming my light for a very long time, for the past year and a half. It's been a push and pull, but definitely the past 6 months. Even though I've been getting back to myself with my social media, it didn't always feel totally authentic because I was giving up too much of myself for other things, other aspects of my life in multiple different ways. And now that life has shocked me and opened my eyes, for real. My eyes have been opened in the past 2 months. I'm realizing the power that I have, my gifts that I have, the person that I am, the spirit that I contain, the soul that I contain, the power that comes with that divine energy. I've opened my arms to abundance, guys. I've been praying so much to God, to spirit. I've been journaling. I've been doing my tarot. I've been doing my work, my inner work. And I've been allowing, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. I should have brought my tissues from the car. I've been allowing spirit to just speak through me and allow this sense of abundance to really channel through me. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the fact that other people are noticing it. I'm also allowing myself to hold on to that. I don't have to give it to anyone. I can keep it for myself. But in all of this learning, I've just, it's so crazy how quick in 2 months, it's like, boom. I feel like I've been electrocuted from the sky, from the gods, like this new sense of self and divine energy. It's really a blessing, and it's really beautiful, even though it came in such a weird, painful disguise. And with that, we're going to transition into our second to last section, spirituality and the unknown. And if there's one theme that wove through all of my 26 years, it was surrender. Surrendering to everything. Really control, but to everything. Surrendering to everything. I found myself pulling deeper into faith, pulling deeper into my intuition, into the signs from the universe that I didn't always understand, but I trusted anyway. And these are the truths I've learned by letting go. And I'm still in it. I'm still learning how to let go. But by diving deeper into myself, I've learned that you need to surrender to it all, for real. Like literally get on your knees and open your arms to the sky and let that pain out, guys. And I've done that a number of times in the past 2 months, literally sitting on the floor and sobbing and opening my chest up and sobbing. Like, I'm pretty sure my landlord's wife heard me, because the other day I was throwing away trash and she was going to the laundry room and she was like, "Hi, how are you? How have you been?" But it was like "How have you been?" And I was like, "Oh, I've been good." And she's like, "Okay, you're sure? How are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, damn, has it been that?" Like, damn. But it's great. I didn't feel ashamed. I was like, you know what? I appreciated her for asking me that question, because she's a nice lady. She's all right. You know, I've had my ups and downs with her, but you know, she's cool. And I think that was very sweet of her to ask, because yeah, your girl's been going through it, but I've also been thriving. It's so night and day spiritually. I've been going through it, but I've been so happy with the way life is turning out for me. I have, and I think I've been suppressing that happiness because of the fear of change and for the fear of losing things that I really want to hold really tight onto. But it's like underneath all that is the happiness of optimism, because you know inherently that the trust is there. The universe always got you. So don't suppress that and don't try to turn that into something negative for fear of the unknown. Getting into themes of surrender, sacredness, empathy, and inner wisdom. Number 20, the universe is your guide. Keep your eyes open. Do not ever turn your back on the universe. Do not ever turn your back onto God, or if you call God spirit. Do not ever turn your back on the universe. The universe is your guide. You were brought into this world through divine energy, through spirit. Your birth chart is your roadmap. That is your God-given blueprint to figuring yourself the fuck out. And anyone who shits on astrology, I'm digressing, I know. Anyone who shits on astrology is lost. And I mean that 10 toes motherfucking down into this grass. Anyone who shits on astrology is lost in their life, and they're neglecting their guide. They don't know what they're doing in their life. They're making life harder for themselves by neglecting the literal blueprint they were birthed with on this planet. So don't ever turn your back on the universe. It is your guide, and keep your eyes open. Once you start ignoring the red flags, once you start ignoring the signs of life, it's gonna get fucking worse, girl, and it's gonna get harder to let go and move through. It's gonna get harder to move with the alignment, because the current is like this and you're going like this, and those drop downs are gonna feel fucking worse than if you were here and you just went like that. But now you're like this, and you can't even find, it's like when you're mixing, right, and you're trying to line up the red dots so that when you mix in the song it blends in seamlessly. You're trying to do this and you can't even fucking mix your highs and lows to even match up because you're ignoring the red dot. You know what I'm saying? So stop ignoring the universe. Stop closing your eyes off to the universe. Stop doing that. Have no expectations. Trust in the experience. You might think you know what you know. You might think you know everything. You don't know nothing. You only know what you learned from the previous lesson. So stop thinking you know everything. You only know yourself, and even then stop ignoring yourself, because yourself even be trying to give you signs, and you be ignoring the signs that your own intuition is trying to give you. You know what I'm saying? So let go of the expectation of how people perceive you, of how you think somebody should treat you, how you think somebody should cater to you. Stop putting these false expectations on your life and on other people. People don't owe you shit. Even if they're your partner, your best friend, your mom, your dad, at the end of the day, people don't owe you shit. And that's just the reality of the situation. So stop expecting things to go a certain way. Let go of the control and just focus on controlling yourself. Life will be so much easier. Just trust in the experience. Because I got a little riled up, I'm going to calm down with the just trust in the experience, for real. Like tomorrow I'm going to Laguna with my friends. We're having a girls' beach day trip. And I'm like, a year ago, I didn't even think I would have had these amazing girls around me that I can trust, experience shit that I thought I could only do with my partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, we're about to go to the fucking beach and have a girls' day at the beach. Like that's lit. You know what I'm saying? So just stop thinking that you know everything and that you're never going to find the right people. You're never going to find the right person. You're never going to, like, that is a false expectation. Let it go and just trust the experience, because it's going to happen the way it's supposed to when it needs to. 22, it's okay to feel lost. Just never let yourself be convinced that you are. Stop thinking that you're lost. Stop thinking that you don't know when life, I don't know, life is so confusing. I'm lost. I want to cry. You're not lost. You're just recalibrating. Life is just taking a moment to just filter out some shit so you can get onto your path of alignment. Everything is about alignment. Everything is about rhythm. If you fall out of step with your rhythm, sure, you might be lost for a second, things feel uncertain, but you're not lost. And what I mean by that is you're not letting the misery You're not getting lost in the misery. You're not getting lost in the uncertainty. You're not getting lost in things that you don't understand about what's going on. You're not getting lost in the mix. You're not getting lost into the demons of life. You know what I'm saying? You're not lost. You're just recalibrating. You're just realigning. You're just resetting and redirecting. Rejection is redirection. Things that don't work out, it's all redirection, and it's all working out for you. Okay, so I literally had to hurry up and run to a new setup because the park closes in 30 minutes, and she's literally driving around in her Ranger truck like the guy in Nightmare Before Christmas, like, Jack is not here. But anyways, I don't even remember where I was at. I don't remember where I was at, guys. I think we were in spirituality, healing in the unknown. Oh yeah, I was saying it's okay to feel lost, just never let yourself be convinced that you are. I think I explained that pretty well. Giving up at 23. Giving up is not an option, coming from a quitter. That says a lot. Yes, so like I was saying a little bit earlier, giving up is not an option. Giving up is not an option. And let me explain how I got to being a quitter, okay? I put a lot of pressure on myself, like I was saying earlier. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do things right and get things right correctly the first time with my art. Specifically, let's talk about with my art. I've been doing YouTube and social media and creative things since I was like 10 years old. And when I was at that age doing YouTube, didn't have a quitting bone in my body. I was learning how to edit. I was learning how to publish, do all those things by myself. Had no fear. You know, there was a time when my parents were like, no, you can't have a YouTube. And, you know, my mom was, you know, she had the fear of like creepers on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh. So then I like tried to open a YouTube channel again on the low. I got in trouble for it. Then I did it again. And then, you know, my parents were supporting it, but I was also in high school. Did really well at that time. I got up to like 5K subscribers. I was on an up. Engagement was great. I even remember I made this One Direction Funny Moments video, and that was like my first million watch views video on YouTube, even if it wasn't my own content. But I was just, you know, I was like, yeah, I have an affinity for this. And then my channel got hacked, and then the world crumbled again. I just used a lot of my pitfalls and challenges to form me into a quitter. I just want to say, like, don't let those challenges fucking make you quit, bro. Stop letting shit that's supposed to just be a blip of your story turn you into a quitter. Because the longer you quit and the longer that you prolong your greatness and your purpose and your divine energy and what you're meant to be doing in this world, giving up is not an option. Because being a quitter, like, you're gonna quit, and then what the fuck is gonna come out of that? Nothing comes from being a quitter. It's okay to be scared. I think now in my life as an adult, in this chapter of my life, my Saturn return, I'm 27 now, all these 26 plus things I've come to the realization that my habits and my patterns and the person that I've been okay with being for the past 26 years has been a person acting out of fear of her own potential and her own greatness. And the ironic part about that, the greatness is right there. The fucking veil is so thin. That boundary is so thin. But I'm holding all this baggage and this weight and this fear. Like this water balloon of fear. And the needle to pop it is right there. But I'm just so scared of that prick. I haven't figured out necessarily why I'm scared of the prick. But I know that's what that fear is. It's the fear of greatness. It's the fear of the potential. And the only way to get over the fear is going through it. And by making the cringy art, by making the fucking mistakes, but just never quit. Just don't be a quitter. Okay? Coming from a quitter, don't be a quitter. It's not fun being a quitter. And I'm learning to stop doing that because it's fucking stupid. Being a quitter is dumb. And it turns you into a miserable person. And then you start becoming jealous of other people's success. And then it's like, because you see yourself as attaining that as well. So just don't do that. Just don't let it do that. Don't let it take your shine. Like, and I realized as I started to become an essence of that, it wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a person who loves love. I love abundance. I love positivity. I love community. I love collaboration. My name literally means hope. And my big 3, my life number, I give hope into I find myself helping people achieve their dreams. Like I see what they're capable of doing, whether that's an actor, a writer, a singer, and I'm like, hey, you should link up with this person because I feel like you could be really good at this. And that's one of my gifts. And I wasn't doing that for myself. I was allowing myself to be like, well, all these other people are doing so great and I just help other people. Bitch, you're not helping yourself, and that's no one's problem but your own, right? So stop being a quitter and own up to your shit, take control of your life, and keep it pushing. 24. For the real humans in the world, the universe will continue to evolve and grow. Learn to have more compassion. Protect yourself and have boundaries. Spiritual sacredness is valid. You are sacred. You are divine. Never deny it, and always remember this. I'm going to repeat that. The universe will continue to evolve and grow. And once again, a reminder, you are part of the universe's consciousness, so that means you will continue to evolve and grow. The universe will continue to evolve and grow. For the real humans in the world, learn to have more compassion, protect yourself and have boundaries. Spiritual sacredness is valid. You are sacred. You are divine. Never deny it, and always remember this. This is the soul's core of this podcast episode. You are sacred. You are divine. You know how rare it is to be born and to have the human experience on planet Earth? That is a fucking gift. I know a lot of people do not have a lot of people do not have cards that allow them to experience life. But if you have the privilege to experience your life for the fullness that it was meant to be lived at, don't take advantage of that. Honor the sacredness, honor the divineness of that, and be humble in that way. Because a lot of people don't have that privilege. A lot of people don't get to experience life, and a lot of people don't live with the attributes to evolve. They want to be miserable and be a person that distracts himself with vices in order to prevent themselves from evolving, right? If you have the ability, if you have that intuition, that innate nature, that the universe is telling you, this is no longer serving me, I need to evolve and grow, don't deny that and don't take that for granted, okay? You are divine, you are sacred, and you need to take that seriously. All right, the last section of this beautiful podcast. Finally, there are lessons that have grounded me. Not to say none of these lessons have grounded me, but there are some other ones that have grounded me in my body, in my laughter, in rest, in simply being human. These truths are unfiltered, sometimes a little messy, but deeply necessary. Okay, these are our wild cards and raw truths, themes of body, pleasure, laughter, and real life grounding. Okay. 25, cry. Just fucking cry, bro. Just fucking cry, bro. And women, I know we cry, but this is to the men that are watching this specifically. Just fucking cry. When you cry, that does not mean you are not a man. That means you're a fucking human being, bro. Just fucking cry. And you know you need to cry. Stop taking out your energy, and I'm talking to the men, stop taking your energy out in anger. That's not even a real emotion. It is just a buffer for being sad or whatever emotion you're trying to guard yourself from by being hyper masculine and being angry. Just fucking cry. And to my people in general, just fucking cry, guys. It feels great after. It might hurt during it, but it feels great after. And then you can go about your day. Don't bottle it up. When you bottle up the need to cry, then you cause stress in your body and then you get health problems. And that's you don't want to cry about that, do you? No. So just cry. Find what makes you laugh till you almost pee your pants, okay? I haven't laughed like that in like 2 years, literally. My laughter is like gone. Like in like Tinkerbell, when like the baby's first laugh turns into a fairy, like where are my fairies at? You know what I'm saying? Like she was a fairy, but was she? Because I haven't laughed like that in so long. So find what makes you laugh until you pee your pants. And I hope I find that this summer. I want to find that gut-wrenching laughter this summer. I haven't laughed like that in so long, and I miss laughing like that till my cheeks hurt, you know? And once you find that, hold on to it and implement that into your life somehow. 27, sex is sacred, but also necessary for release, okay? Listen to your body. Sex is sacred. Don't fucking abuse it. Don't be a fucking hoe. I don't care what anyone says, hot girl summer, whatever the fuck. You're that nigga, whatever. Sex is sacred, so don't be busting it open for nobody. I mean that for men and women. Don't be busting it open for nobody. Sex is sacred, okay? On the other hand, you're a human. You need to release. Go work out. Sometimes you do need to have sex, though. I'm not going to lie. But just go work out. Just go work out. Go work out. Go create something. Because inherently, the need for sex isn't the need to create, right? Literally, that's what that means. Scientifically, metabolically, spiritually, it is the need to create. We get this energy, we get worked up, whether it's stress, whether it's excitement, whatever. Programming, and we just want to plant the seed. You know what I mean? We want to do it. Do it at your own discretion. Be safe about it. Be smart about it. But don't be busting it open for anyone, and don't lose yourself in that, because sex is sacred. And as women, it is our divine energy. When we let a man have sex with us, they are siphoning that energy. And I don't care if they're a good guy or a bad guy. They are siphoning that energy, because that is the way it physically works. You can call me crazy. You can call me a man hater if you want. I'm just spitting out facts. Because if you notice, when you're not all right as a woman, when you're not within yourself as a woman, and you're busting it open for these guys, you're giving them your energy, then they're all willy-nilly living their lives. Their life is suddenly their life is suddenly amazing, but suddenly you're feeling empty and confused and lost and kind of dark, because they just pumped all their dark energy into you. I'm sorry to get vulgar, but they just pumped all this dark energy into you, and you're like, what the fuck was that? Sex is sacred. I'm gonna leave it at that. Be careful who you're giving it up to, men and women. It's scary. Just be smart. Listen to your body. Listen to your body. After you have sex, listen to what is your body telling you after you just exchange that soul ties, that spiritual energy with someone. Listen to your body. 28. Stop drinking and smoking. Let it be an excruciatingly rare instance, if anything. I know we love our vices. We have our vices. We have our vices. We have our vices. We have our vices. If you've grown up with your mother or your father drinking and smoking all your life in your childhood, and now you're an adult and all you do is drink and smoke to get by, you know you don't have to do that, right? You don't have to accept the programming. Because what's going to happen? You're going to get cancer. You're going to get liver failure. Your hairline's going to start receding. Your body, you're going to start smelling because all the toxins. You're not even cleansing. Your diet is fucked up. Your energy, the way you process your emotions is fucked up. Because you're over here pumping these vices into you every single day, every single weekend. You can't even let your body process, be human, reacclimate, reset into the person you were even before all of that. So let those vices be excruciatingly rare if they are a part of your life, because those things are not divine. They are not, you were not born into this world with those vices. That is not part of your journey. Those are just things that are worldly things that are egotistical and material, that are not meant to be permanent. So let the vices be excruciatingly rare. Choose your health, choose your divine over the vices, because I guarantee you guys, those things feel way better than a cocktail at the end of the day. Your sacredness, your divinity, and your happiness and your joy within yourself feels like a fucking hit. The first time you ever hit marijuana, that shit is a high, and it's a great, and it feels good, and you don't have to turn into something because you're relying on something to make you feel human, a false sense of humanity, right? So let the vices be excruciatingly rare. I can't even say excruciatingly rare. And the last 29, be in nature once a week. Like I said, take your PTO or whatever you need to do. Be in nature once a week. Go on a hike every weekend. Stop freaking. I know you have a lot of things to do as a creative. I need to go. I know you have a lot of things to do as a creative. I know you have a lot of things to do as a creative. I know you have a lot of things. I know you got to work on your script. You got to work on your deck. You got to work on your side hustles, your project, your music, your script, your photo shoots, your mood boards. I know you got to do it, right? But also you need to restore yourself. You need to reset, and you need to be in nature. So get up early on Saturday morning, go on the hike, go on the walk, be in nature. That's going to fuel you. You're going to feel so much better. So then when you return to everything else you have to do, whether that's a job, your creative, your side hustle, babysitting, whatever the fuck you have to do in your life, you're going to feel so much better because you allowed your body to have its human moment. A lot of us aren't allowing ourselves to be human. We have to go to work. We have to do this. We have to. No, you need to be human at least once a week, if anything. Go sit in the grass until the gate closes at the park, like how I am, and just sit and just look up at the sky and just be grateful. And just process your week, process your day, process your last 2 months, process your last 6 months, process your last year. Give yourself time to be human, please. Or else you're going to go through life chasing shit that doesn't even matter, distracting yourself, confused, don't know your purpose, don't know why things are the way in the world, right? Societally. Yeah. Be in nature. You guys understand what I'm saying by that. And these are just the really body centering, grounding truths, guys, raw and real. And it's just me talking, guys. I love that you guys are here to listen to me talk. I love that you guys feel like this is like a FaceTime one-on-one, like we're talking and we're getting through life together. I really do love this community so much. And if you're here and you're watching and you're supporting and you're relating to it, just know that you are a divine human being and you were sent this podcast for a reason. You were meant to hear the things I'm saying for a reason. And everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to work out. And just remember to follow your rhythm. Follow your rhythm. 26 wasn't the easiest year for me, but it was honest. It was hard-hitting truth honest. And its honesty is kind of a sense of liberation. Like I said, I feel optimistic, even though I'm at the bottom of the lessons and it feels hard right now. I'm at that tail end of that hard hitting. It's liberating. It's optimistic. I hope these reflections meet you where you are. I hope they remind you that your evolution is valid, that your evolution is sacred, and it's unfolding exactly as it should. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening to the Gwenny Coded podcast. Leave a like, please. Like the podcast. It helps support the podcast. It helps us get into the algorithm. Leave a comment. Leave a comment on what was your favorite thing of the 28 things I listed. This is my year, 26 things being 26. I'm now 27. It's Gemini season. Saturn Return in Aries. Taurus is in Venus right now for the next month. So I'm going to pour into myself, into my self-love and my self-worth. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode. I'm going to try not to be a quitter. And I'm going to try. The quitter phase is over, okay? We're going to build the routine. We, meaning me, I'm going to build the routine and I'm going to let this shit flourish. I'm going to let this plan A of being a multifaceted creative flourish. And I'm so excited. I know I keep saying I'm so excited, but I am, even though I'm a little scared. We're all a little scared. You guys are fucking amazing. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Thank you for listening.